Hey everyone, welcome to today's Explainer. Today we're unpacking a really radical shift. We're talking about the difference between just knowing about faith and actually experiencing the living, breathing power of resurrection in your everyday life. It's really the journey from having a head packed full of religious knowledge to a heart that is just truly alive. So, if you've ever felt like, you've got all the right answers, but you're just lacking that real sense of vitality, well, you are in exactly the right place.
Now, take a look at this quote. It presents this totally shocking paradox. These are actually the words of Jesus from John chapter 5, and he's talking straight to the religious experts of his day. Think about that. These guys were diligently poring over scriptures, trying to find eternal life, yet they were completely missing the living person that those very texts were pointing to. It's the ultimate trap, right? Becoming this absolute master of the menu while you're literally starving yourself of the actual meal.
And that brings us to a deeply personal question, one we really need to sit with as we go through this material. Are you just holding on to a doctrine, or are you actually living with a person? Because, let's be honest, a doctrine is safe, it's predictable, you can put it neatly on a shelf. But a person? A person requires real interaction, relationship, and surrender. So, keeping that tension in mind, let's dive into a historical example that perfectly illustrates this struggle.
Okay, kicking off section 1, the illusion of knowledge versus the reality of life. Let's get right into it.
The story of Martha absolutely nails this gap perfectly. So when her brother Lazarus dies, Jesus comes and tells her he will rise again. And Martha, she gives the textbook perfect Sunday school answer. I know he will rise again in the resurrection at the last day. Boom, she has the doctrine down flawlessly. She holds this firm belief about a future event. But then Jesus completely disrupts her theology. He tells her, I am the resurrection and the life. Notice what he did there. He moved it from a future what to a present who. Resurrection isn't just some circled date on a calendar, it is a person standing right in front of her.
So it really all boils down to this. Are we just agreeing with a set of facts, or are we entering into a living union? Religious belief is basically just accumulating biblical knowledge in your head. I mean, the text even points out that even the demons believe in certain facts and shudder. Living faith, on the flip side, is about opening your heart to personally receive and actually unite with the Lord of life. To put it simply, it's the difference between memorizing someone's biography and actually marrying them. Huge difference, right? Let's look at this table to compare these two mindsets directly, because it creates a really stark contrast. Ask yourself, do you treat Jesus as just a religious form that you have to maintain, or as a living Lord you actually invite in? Is your relationship based on just knowing facts about him or daily active living together? And the result? Well, it speaks for itself. Religious belief kind of just leaves you stuck in this stagnant doctrine. Like, sure, you might be right, but you're not alive. Living faith, however, results in a completely transformed life. That is the goal here.
All right, moving on to section 2, the shadows versus the substance. To really grasp this, we have to understand that Lazarus was just a temporary preview. When Jesus raised him from the dead, yes, it was an absolutely mind-blowing miracle. But Lazarus eventually died again, right? His resurrection was just a shadow, a symbol, pointing to something way bigger. Jesus' resurrection, though, that is the substance. It's permanent. It is eternal life. His victory over death is what grants unending life to all believers. We aren't being invited into some temporary fix here. We are being invited into an eternal reality. Which brings us to section 3, the shift in confession, from the Lord to my Lord. Let's see how our personal response has to change. Check out the profound shift in pronouns on this slide. It is so revealing. Martha states an objective fact. You are the Christ. And yeah, that's objectively true. Yet she's still standing there in absolute despair about her brother's death. Her confession didn't change her present reality one bit. Now, compare that to Thomas after the resurrection. He encounters Jesus, literally touches his scars, and cries out, "My Lord and my God." Do you see that? That shift from thee to my, that is the exact moment religious knowledge ignites into a living, breathing encounter. So, how do we actually do this? That brings us to section 4, the practice of opening the door. Let's get practical. Here is an incredibly beautiful truth. Jesus never forces his way in. In Revelation 3, he says, I stand at the door and knock. Think about that. The Lord of the entire universe literally limits himself to the handle on the inside of your heart's door. He isn't a thief trying to break in. He's a guest just waiting to be welcomed, to share a meal, and to really share in your life. So how do we make this our reality today? How do we stop just staying in our heads? Well, the source gives us 3 really concrete daily practices to experience this resurrection power. Step 1, listen. And I mean really listen. Don't just read the words on a page like you're studying for a history test. Listen for the actual person speaking through them. Step 2, open. Make a conscious, voluntary choice every single day to unlatch that door. And step 3, invite. Don't just save him for Sunday mornings. Invite him to actively participate in your present, messy reality. Bring him into your work stress, your family conflicts, your quiet moments of anxiety. That's how you receive him today.
And when you do this, resurrection isn't just some event you're waiting for in the afterlife. It becomes your vitality right here, right now. As it says in Galatians, Christ lives in me. You aren't just getting an upgraded set of morals or a, clearer theological framework. You get Him. The very source of life literally takes up residence inside of you, making you an entirely new creation. It's a total game changer.
The lyrics here from The Living Tree capture this whole idea so beautifully. It describes this relationship as flowing with your sap, your breath in me. I love that imagery. It shows that this isn't just some transactional ticket to heaven where you simply check a box and believe a fact. It's an organic union. Just like a branch is physically connected to a vine, his life literally flows into yours. Without him, we're basically just dry branches desperately holding on to dead religion. But with him, we are absolutely bursting with life.
So we've seen the trap of knowing the doctrine without knowing the person. We've seen the stark difference between holding a future theology and living in a present reality. So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with this choice. Will you remain a comfortable expert on the text, or will you take the risk and open the door to experience life itself today? The knock is happening right now. How are you going to answer?